Hello YouTube. Hey, Angie and I talked about this morning. I was up late last night. Hello, like I say, hello YouTube. I just walked away from the computer here. I was just tracking a train that we would have been taking if we would have took it scheduled, if we would have had it scheduled on August 21st to today. We're filming this on August 23rd, and I guess something bad happened with that train, the Southwest Chief. Along the way, I think some of our Arizona viewers and out west viewers probably know what goes on, and there was speculations on it that don't know if it was a freight train or the Amtrak train itself, but there was 3 freight trains going through Flagstaff, westbound freight trains this morning around 7 o'clock our time this morning. And finally, a few minutes later, the Amtrak train finally showed about 8 hours late, reaching the Flagstaff, Arizona station. It was sitting outside, just outside the Flagstaff area, east side of Flagstaff, waiting on standby, because one of the trains, either it was the Amtrak itself or one of the freight trains, hit a trespasser. This is why you do not walk on the railroad tracks, especially busy railroad tracks. Someone got hit and killed by a train. Unfortunately, it happened. And Angie goes this morning, good thing we didn't take that challenge. Original plan was to take the Amtrak train, where basically I will get her on the Amtrak train to Chicago, and I follow her by car. This is probably one of those situations that I would have had to backtrack to stay near the route as far as possible, just see if she's okay. But nope, we were not on the Amtrak train. Good thing. It does happen. And of course, if everybody knows about the Zephyr, it's been going through Colorado with those crazy wildfires. And good thing we didn't plan on any trips on that train either. Basically, it's not been a good year. Basically, now, unfortunately, there may be some budget cuts coming to Amtrak that may or may not affect our trip for next year. We are going to be watching Congress and see what they got plans are, but they are considering cutting Amtrak budgets again. So, and if they do, Amtrak is going to retaliate by cutting how often they will do the long distance trains, to maybe go from 7 days a week to probably 3 or 4 times, with 3 or 4 departures a week, which is not good. Ooh, hot one. I don't know why I even sat down in these plastic chairs. It's hot. Yeah, I had a rant on this, I think over on Chuck Chats. I talked about how passenger rail in the United States has got to be a big joke. Very laughable at times. Because I've always heard about these passenger rails over in Europe and Asia, how great they run, how efficient they run. Reasons they're so efficiently run is because passenger rail has the right-of-way over freight trains, and some over in Asia only passenger trains can run on those tracks, no freight at all. And they want freight to run on its own lines, and passenger rails on its own lines. And over in Europe, it's the passenger has more priority over the freight. And here in the States, you know how the Mississippi River works through the lock and dams. Government boats, then it's passenger boats, then it's the freight, the barges, then the pleasure craft. That's how it's ranked. That's how we were told by the Twilight captain. That's how it's ranked. Basically, we took the Twilight riverboat cruise, how they rank them. And reason we didn't get the right-of-way on that, some of those, because the barges was already there time we got there ourselves. So it's just a little scheduling. Depending If the lock chamber was open, then yeah, we would have got the right of way. But they were already in the locks. They're going through the process, so we had to wait and wait. That so. And here, the passenger rail service is just right behind freight. Freight is because most of the freight lines are owned by the railroads, so they will run their trains more than they'll allow an Amtrak train to run on it. Man, for late August, it was pretty hot out there so far. We're supposed to get near 100 again later this week. Oh, yeah, that's not good. And that, so we're back inside, cool off, and that. Yeah, this is why I got told stories. I always hear stories every so often when there's a passenger service being cut or something like that. You always hear people that's slightly older than me. You know, I'm just barely old enough to remember the last passenger service here in town, but not really that old enough. I think you had to be like in the mid-60s and older to really remember the passenger service we used to have. Remember I made the video going down to the depot. Hopefully they try to renovate it, and hopefully they bring back passenger rail service. That had been great in a way, in some form. But like I said, it would have been convenient for people who doesn't own cars. Just get on the train and go to Chicago or anywhere else that goes. Des Moines, wherever the train goes. And that's used to how you got around back in the day. I used to remember my mom and dad used to go into Chicago. My dad used to work for the railroad. Used to get discount rides for the family. Discount or free rides, free train rides by the Chicago Northwestern Railroad at the time. Go into Chicago, leave it, pick up an early morning train, get in Chicago in time, watch the Cubs game at Wrigley Field, possibly, and when the game's over, you grab one of the last trains to leave Chicago to head home. So basically, if you're leaving, let's say you left Clinton, let's say at 6 in the morning, you're almost guaranteed back home by 10 at night, which makes it a very good day. If we would have had a passenger rail service like that still operation here in town, you darn well would be taking advantage on every time we have off together. When Angie and I have off time together, that'd be great. Well, you know what would be great? See what Angie's thought on this. Right now, I'm currently watching the Southwest Chief arriving at Barstow right now. What time is it? It's almost 10 to 1. And the train, the westbound Chief on August 23rd, that's why I'm filming this, should have been in LA at 8 o'clock in the morning California time. It's not even it's barely at it's not even near Barstow here at 1 o'clock our time, which makes it about 11 o'clock California time. So yeah, it's late because of that incident. Unfortunately, it happens. You got to stay off those tracks. Don't be running in front of trains. I see it all the time when I watch the Flagstaff live stream once in a while, where I watch the Amtrak train. The train comes in, the gates goes down, people darting right across the tracks when the gates are down. And then Angie has a horror story herself. I don't know if she's going to share it or not, but we had an accident here in town involving a person and the train. Hi, Angie.
Hello, you too.
All right. I just filled in Angie that we was talking about trains, especially the Amtrak accident. And Angie, remember an accident at the ballpark crossing those tracks down there? What happened that year?
Somebody got hit by the train.
Well, they didn't get hit by a train, but they were crawling underneath a parked train.
And then the train started moving, and then he got hit.
Lost his leg.
Yes.
His leg got chopped.
And a lot of the players thought it was me underneath the train. I said,
no, you were smart enough by not going underneath the train. You would just do it and wait till the train cleared. Or walk up around and detoured it.
Yep.
Stuff like that. But yeah, someone actually did lose their leg here in town at the railroad tracks down here by the ballpark. That was some 10, 12 years ago.
Yes.
At least. Yeah. Because I remember we first moved in up here when it happened, did it? I think it did.
I think we did.
Yeah. It was a long time. It had to be at least a good 10 years plus since that happened. Basically, we might be wrong. We might be right.
We were the Cincinnati Reds affiliate, I believe.
Oh no! Then it was a lot longer than that.
Yep.
It had to be in the. Well, I was living in the south of the town.
Yes.
And that, so it must. Either way, it was a long time ago, but it did happen. Someone lost their leg.
Yep.
Has to pay a price. Also, we knew somebody who worked on the railroad, attended ball games, and he had an accident on the job. Basically, lost his entire right arm, and he's in court battles to this day.
He still is.
Yeah, he's in court battles to this day because he said it was an on-the-job injury, and the so-called union he was with saying no, it was off the job, off the clock, and so did the railroad. So we're not going to mention any railroads, but we did know somebody that lost their arm while on the job, and that's what he was saying what happened on the job. The union, his union, and the railroad said no. OSHA was nowhere to be found in that case for some reason. I don't know what's going on with that one, but he's all angry over it. I don't blame him on that part, and he's taken the proper legal procedures. What we heard about it, we don't know, and that. So we haven't seen those people at the ballpark in years. So even your employee, a passenger, or just
be safe.
Be safe. I know there's places in town people like to walk up the railroad tracks here in town to the big.
I used to, but I don't do it no more.
No, I kind of used to do it too. Walk up the railroad tracks at one time, just to go to a fishing hole. And sometimes there was a swimming hole up there I used to like to go to, but because of recent, let's put it this way. Train accidents involving pedestrians not paying attention, not focusing what's going on around them. They're too busy listening to their music, their Walkmans, and all that stuff. And they keep forgetting you're on a very active train tracks.
Sorry, guys, I'm yawning.
Yeah, I know. And soon as we're at nighttime right now, just like that.
I just watched a pay-per-view.
Yeah. SummerSlam, right?
Yep.
Digital fans they had tonight.
Yeah.
Wow.
We're doing them next week, too.
Digital fans. So someone probably bought themselves a digital ticket.
From TikTok.
Oh, from TikTok? Mm-hmm. So they had to do, say, boo, yay, chant, something like that?
They already have a match for next week.
Okay. Oh, right now I'm going to go to the computer later tonight and see. I'm going to see. Oh, by the way, we just heard word officially. Reason that we talked about this video when someone got hit by a train. It was not hit by an Amtrak. A person in Flagstaff, Arizona area did not get hit by an Amtrak train. It got hit by a Burlington Northern Santa Fe train. Because the train line is very active around on that, and that's the line we're going to be taking next summer. So yes, we have to be safe around the Amtrak train ourselves, getting on and off. And we've been on the Amtrak before, so we know what to look for and what to hear the all aboard, right?
Yep.
And we don't want to be left behind.
No.
Last thing I want to see is
Could you guys imagine if we would have did it this year?
Oh yeah.
And he was like, "Where is she? She's not there yet."
And I'm seeing her running up the. I'm seeing her running on up the platform. Hey, wait for me! And or it could be the other way around too.
Yeah.
I'll run out of gas. All right, this video's ran out of gas right now.
All right, please like, share, subscribe. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and notification bell. We'll see you later. Bye.
Bye.